different talismans or things to ward off evil. Maybe they come to get their fortune told. Maybe there's even some antique-looking items here and there that you have no idea what they are. None of it seems to be combat related. It's more like, pieces of some type of like a gear or almost like a clock face, or different bowls or glasses or cups, and it's just kind of a really knick-knacky kind of shop that you're walking in. Everything is crowded and just stuffed to the gills on every shelf of all this anything you can think of. And the space in between the shelves and moving around it, it's very narrow. But as you make your way through, you come up to a halfling who is at a countertop, and he looks like he's working on. He's got some tools out, and it looks like maybe it's like some type of contraption that has gears and mechanical things in it, but it's not anything you've seen before, so you don't really have a word in your head of what it would be. It's just something mechanical of some sort.
All right. I just say, I call out to, hello? Is there a Mr. Saunders here?
Yeah, and he looks up and he puts down. He takes off some glasses that he's wearing, and he puts down some tools, and he kind of rolls them up in like a leather case. And he says, "Yes, please come in. I didn't think I'd have any visitors this late in the evening." And it's not late, like the sun hasn't even gone down yet, but.
Hello, Mr. Saunders. We were recommended to you by a nice old man. We are looking to get an item identified of the magical variety, and we were wondering if you would be able to help us out in that endeavor.
Yeah, he looks at you and says, "Oh, I'm so happy that you came to my shop. I certainly could help you out. Is there some type of compensation we could agree to?"
I mean, what do you want? Do you need something done? Are you looking for a monetary compensation? What are you?
Yeah, and he kind of gives you the I mean, normally when somebody would like me to identify something, it would not be unheard of if say I were given 50 gold.
Apologies. I'm just accustomed to back in my old village, we work more on the what is it called when you help each other out?
Barter.
Well, not like
communism.
Lower communism, yeah. Communism. Where I do a service for you, you do a service for me, that sort of deal. And I just say that, yeah, I'm just more accustomed to doing a service for one person, and they do a service for me. Apologies.
You're horrible at this. You gave me guff at that last shop.
Oh, and he gives you a look of embarrassment. He's like, "Oh, I do not wish to offend you."
No, not
lady
you,
elf.
her.
And he's not even talking to you. He's just talking to her. He's like, I don't mean to offend you, lady elf. I'm a simple merchant, and we just deal in monetary trade most often.
Oh no, the apology is all mine. And I look over at Greybeard, who's just speaking to himself at this point.
And then I roll my eyes. I start counting out the coin, like making stacks of 10.
I say, you said 40 gold? Did I hear that right?
Are you? Go ahead and make your persuasion roll. Was that your trying to get him lower?
Are you hard of hearing, my lady?
And Greybeard squishes his face like,
Yeah, give me a cool persuasion roll.
Fuck my life.
No pressure.
0.
Yeah.
A -2. That's so good. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I definitely must have misspoke. What I actually meant to say was 50 gold pieces, and I could certainly provide the services you require.
At that point, I'm like 48, 49, 50.
There we go. All right. And as he's saying this, I started taking out the bracer from my pack or our bag, wherever we have them.
I think T-Gray has it, but yeah, he'll hand it over to you.
And I would like to, I'm hoping for the comedic effect of I turn around with the bracers at the same time as Greybeard is handing him the money. So we knock into each other.
Okay. Yeah, and the money, like half of it drops on the ground now, and the other half is on the counter. And Greybeard, you're looking at the money on the ground now.
All right. And I start putting them back into 10 coin stacks again. So there's 5 10 coin stacks.
Yeah, so he goes in the back room and he comes back and let's see. Just so I know. Does identify have spell components?
And I genuinely couldn't remember if he said 30 or 50, so I decided to just like go with the halfway point.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah, so he comes back and he has he apparently has an item. He also has an owl feather. He has like a little brazier, and then he has a pearl. And he puts these into the brazier, and he lights it with some type of greenish flame. And he uses this, what appears to be kind of like a wand. It's, other people might look at it, it might almost look like a branch or a stick. Those of you that are more arcane would maybe recognize it as a wand. And he casts a spell as he goes through the verbal, somatic, and material components of the spell. It only takes just a second. It takes about a minute to cast. And then you kind of see the flame leaves the brazier, and it floats and then kind of engulfs the bracer. And now the bracer has like this green flame around it. And as he's looking at it, he's like, this has a darkness to it, he says. He's like, where did you get this?
Believe it or not, off of some cult members that we murdered earlier
Cultists, he says. Maybe that makes sense. And he's peering more at it, and he says it appears it has a spell imbued in this bracers. And he's looking at it, and he's continuing the spell. Oh, I wrote that down somewhere. Hold on. And he says, yes, it appears. And now that you can see the flames are actually kind of showing you what appears to be like edging and artwork that you didn't see it. They just look like plain brown bracers when they were sitting on the counter and as they were sitting in the pack. But now the green flame is tracing out what appears to be like this art of wind and clouds and such, and it just kind of brightens up, and it says it looks like it can cast a wind spell, and it looks like it might be once a day before it loses its energy and then must recharge.
Yeah, well, that would explain that wind wall thing during the fight. Oh.
Yeah,
Thank
and so the name of these are the Bracers of Wind, and it can cast a Gust of Wind spell once per day. Whoever ends up taking that.
A gust of wind? Okay.
Cultist farts.
And so the flame kind of he mentions some other arcane words, and the flame jumps back to the brazier, and then he's like, anything else? And even his eyes kind of glow a little bit of the greenish flame, have that little bit of green tinge to him. He's like, anything else?
All right, but sworn to secrecy on this one. And I lean in conspiratorially, and I start to pull the rod out of out of the bag, and it's like feet long and like 10 inches around, and it's like 100 pounds, and I rest it on the counter.
Yeah, and he's looking at this, and again he says several words, and the green flame jumps up, and it engulfs this giant rod of black metal, kind of like a black iron, but you're not sure if that's what it's made of. And the flame flares up, and he almost jumps back, and you see the flame almost wink out, like it startled him. It's almost caused him to lose control of the identify spell, but he gathers himself, and he says, again, what dark magic is this? Where did you find this?
Believe it or not, from the pocket of a giant.
Dead fire giant.
He's a fire giant. It's like, he says, I'm not sure what this is. It does not appear to be a weapon. I think, he says, I don't know if I'm powerful enough to divine exactly what this is, but I think it's used to find something.
All right. Ooh.
Okay.
Is it still a thing? I mean, will it work? Or did it already find it?
He says, no, it does not appear to be damaged. It appears to still be functional. And he says, it looks like there's this phrase you say. He says, I'm not sure what this language is. It's not one I know. But it looks like it's triggered by a phrase, and then it has some type of divination magic attached to it. But it's quite powerful.
And he doesn't know the phrase?
He can see the phrase. He doesn't know how it's all pronounced, and it's in a language he doesn't know, but he can write it down.
Right, that's awesome.
Yeah, could you write it down for us?
Yeah. He takes out a piece of paper, and he's able to write they kind of look like, they resemble a little bit of like dwarven runes, but they're not dwarven. They give you that idea when you look at them, but they're not anything you're recognizing. And he writes it out, and he says it's clearly a spoken phrase of some sort, but I don't know the language.
And neither of us do either.
What languages do you know?
I know Common, Elvish, Giant, and Sylvan.
Dwarven and Common.
Yeah, it is in Giant.
Oh, well then, what does it say in Giant?
It seems like it's nonsense words. It's not like actual words, but you would be able to phonetically say it. You know, it's kind of like saying, you know, like "e pluribus unum," or, you know, it's like, it's definitely a phrase that now that you've seen it, you could probably utter.
All right. Well, I take the piece of paper he wrote it on, and I throw it in my pack. And is that all we have, Greybeard?
Yep, that's it.
All
There
right.
was the other thing, but
That's in the other pack.
Ardreth has that one.
Yeah. Well, if we pass back through here, we could get it identified again.
Yeah, and then you see him say some final arcane words, and the green flame winks out, and then the owl feather and the pearl from the brazier is gone now, and he's got a little bit of sweat on his forehead, and he's like, it seems that your adventures have proven profitable to you.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's like, and are you looking to sell these items?
No.
as I'm like hefting the thing back in and lowering it into the magic.
And I'm taking the
bag.
bracers and throwing them back in my pack. No.
Though we do have, and I start pulling
boy. There we go.
the ivory elven statue out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he looks at it and he says, "Oh, this is very interesting." He says, "The work is fantastic." And he's looking at, and again, it's a high elf in what seem to be some type of priestly robes of some sort. And he's looking at it, he's like, "Are you looking to sell this magnificent piece of art?"
Right. Yep.
And he
Yes.
furrows his brow and he's And how much would you be willing to part? Or how much would I be able to pay you to part with this?
Well, as you're such a fair businessman, I sort of give him that bad reputation look, like, do not fudge me on this. And I'm like,
oh, okay. Give me that intimidation check.
Bam.
Let's see how good this look is. Oh yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, he almost, there's like a half flinch from your very stern gaze. And he's like,
I'm sure you're fair in your pricing.
and he's like, Yes, Master Dwarf. He's like, I would be willing to part with 100 gold for this statue.
Sold.
Okay. And he goes behind his counter and he pulls out a pouch and then starts getting extra gold. So you basically get your gold back, your 50, and then he puts the other 50 there on the table for you.
All right. And Greybeard almost like asked him where a dwarf can get a good mead in this town, but then he looked at him like, it's a halfling. And is like, nice do business with you. Reaches across the counter to shake his
shakes
hand.
your hand. Yep, shakes your hand, and he says, "Please come back anytime."
Have we asked anybody about inns? Has anybody told us about a good place to stay the night?
I know
yeah.
all the good inns in town.
Yeah, when you were talking to Donner, yeah, and you know of two that are probably pretty common. There's the Inn of the Glowing Gem and the Tired Traveler Tavern would be a couple places that Ardreth would also know about.
All right.
And they're very, their crowd caters to basically the adventurer type.
What were those called again? I'm sorry.
Inn of the Glowing Gem and the Tired Traveler Tavern.
Cute.
Hey, and a world question. You had said that the fop she was talking to earlier said something about coffee. How prevalent is coffee in the Forgotten Realms?
I would say in the big towns, so like Waterdeep, Yarder, these are places that are major trading hubs, and you would probably be able to find something like that. You wouldn't have probably have found it in Nightstone. Would have been hard to find probably even in Tribor. Tribor is a little bit smaller of a town. So the bigger towns are the places where you're going to find that's imported. It's not grown or made here. It's imported.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then at some point, I guess I would have asked, so now that someone said coffee, Greybeard's like got the shakes for it. So I would ask Ardreth at some point if the inns he suggested, either one of them would serve coffee.
Yeah, that would be something that you could acquire there.
Okay, all right.
Why,
Otherwise,
yes, and fine coffee at that.
And it would be like a delicacy too. It'd be something that you would get as like as a treat. It wouldn't
Right.
be. It's probably not as prevalent as like drinking it every single morning type thing, but more of like a holiday or festive
yeah.
things, or they treat it more of like a dessert type drink.
Excellent.
And they say you can go over to. There's this new place that just opened up called the Buck Star. Just kidding. All right, so
You're so... Okay, I gotta turn the mic.
all right, so you guys trundle out of Saunders Curio Shop, and you're on the east side of town. It's definitely gotten dark at this point, and it's probably, you've probably wandered around and talked and did some things, so you're right about that same time that the other several people are finishing up with their gambling. What would the group like to do?
Find some place to sleep.
Yeah. Let's head to either the Tired Traveler or the Glowing Gem.
Yeah, either one is fine. Which one would you like to go to?
Well, the inn is an inn.
Whichever one is closer to the church.
All right.
The one closest to the church is probably the Tired Traveler Tavern. It does have rooms, even though the main floor is a pretty big tavern. It does have rooms upstairs.
Cool.
There,
Let's
all
head
right.
there.
All right, and yeah, you guys walk into a very typical tavern. Obviously, the lower floor is all lots of tables. There's serving people going back and forth. There's a bar. There's a band playing, a bardic band of some sort playing. It's filled with a lot of adventurer types. There's a few other town folk. Look like some dock workers come down here to drink. There's probably a few locals that call this their main place, but the majority of the crowd as you're walking in is a lot of humans and half-elves, or a few half-elves, mostly humans, mostly adventuring types. So you're seeing, people in lots of different types of armor sitting amongst the tables. And the bartender is a female half-elf. And as you guys walk in, she kind of waves you over and says, "Please sit at the bar, or would you like a table? How can I help you this evening?"
We're looking for a place to sleep.
She kind of looks at you and she says, "Well, when you get here late after dark, and with it being the hiring fair, you're lucky there's even just a few rooms left." She says, I have 2 rooms left if you're interested."
Sold.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. And she says they're 5 silver piece per room.
Oh. Okay. Tigray covers that for us, right?
Everything's on T grade in that.
That's so kind of you, Tigray. Thanks so much.
You're awesome.
And then she just mentions that, yeah, you can, you're feel free to have a meal, but all you have to do is go up the stairs, and your rooms will be down the hall. At the very end, there will be 2 doors that are adjacent to each other at the very end of the hall, and those are your 2 rooms.
Keys, or do we just borrow them from the inside?
No, she hands you a key that will open the lock on the door.
Cool.
Right. Let's get some food.
Sure.
All
Let's
right.
find a table. Let's sit down.
Is there a table?
Yeah, it's pretty packed, but yeah, you guys are able to get to a table and sit down and have a meal. You feel free to use the same menu we used for saloons.
Is not in
Smile,
here with
just
us.
to keep it easy.
No, he's out in the cart.
Oh,
Guarding the horses, obviously.
obviously. We're just lugging around horses.
It's too crowded in there.
I don't blame you.
Barking at people.
Ruff, ruff.
Yeah, there's a place out behind the tavern where people are putting, horses and carts and things that you're able to park it back there. What are you going to do with Gelrun?
Oh,
He can stay in that cart. Nod can watch him. Watch over him.
Okay.
That's right. I forgot that the casino didn't keep him. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and it's just a typical night. I mean, if you guys want something as far as food or such, you can just get it off the menu and mark it off your sheets. As far as if you buy something, you can have whatever you'd like.
2 orders of bacon, pork pie, an order of sausage and gravy, a pitcher of mead, and a pot of coffee. Coffee's the only one I don't know.
It'll be the same as like the wine.
Okay.
Yeah, and they bring all that out to you. It's a pretty uneventful night. There's obviously good music being played. If bardic music, it seems to be like a group of 3 musicians. They may even be adventurers. You're not quite sure. They have the look of traveled people. It's your very typical tavern evening, but uneventful. You guys can do stuff, or we can skip to the morning.
I, of course, at some point, nudge Ardreth and show these chumps up. Come on, play us something. Or is that against guild rules or something?
All right, and I will go into one of my better songs. I'm just trying to decide, and I will play it on my citern, which is a smaller guitar kind of an instrument.
Nice. Let's you can do a performance check, but I'll let you use advantage, so you can roll advantage on it and see how well you do. Yeah. So you kind of playing through it, and you can tell even after the first couple notes that it feels like this is one of those times you're playing it the best you've ever played it, and you can really feel that the crowd's into it, and you're even hearing maybe some people who are maybe kind of singing along or humming along, not too loudly as to interrupt your performance, but a little harmony coming out of here or there, and the crowd is really enjoying the performance.
I have visions of serendipity. If anybody's seen that movie, as soon as you said sitar, that's all I can think about. Is that guy? Now I've got Ardreth pictured just like that.
I thought you were going to go for, what's the guy the one with Mini-Me and all the different, I'm never going to remember
The
it.
love guru.
Yes, thank you. That's what I was actually thinking of.
It's the same kind of vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, Greybeard, you're quite impressed with Ardreth's song that he's played. It's not one maybe you've heard, but it's impressive.
Right, there it is. Give it up for Arbard, part of the 6. And I do a whole hands in the air, woo, us kind of thing.
Yeah, and towards the end there's a cheer, and as you complete, a servant kind of brings over, or one of the servers brings over a big tall glass of mead, big mug of mead that apparently one of the other adventuring groups has bought for you.
Thank you. And I'll give him a nod back in the other direction as I jump into another song.
Okay, yeah. You
And I think I'll spend the
night
evening drinking and playing music and reveling.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a pretty uneventful night. I mean, you guys can... everything seems to go, just like you would think a typical pleasant evening at a tavern. Good food, good drink, boisterous crowd.
Ian, you notice that GB isn't drinking. He's got a pot of coffee. And I'm just assuming with your huge perception that you would notice that it's not alcohol. It's just the coffee.
Oh, interesting. All right. I log that in my brain as we continue on our night.
And anybody that's perceptive will note that even Jarral is tapping his foot to Ardreth's music.
Nice. My scowl is not as deep.
For once.
And GB is spending his time, like, scoping other folks, making sure none of my stuff disappears. Because if there's adventurers, there's rogues.
Okay. Yeah, the night will pass. The night passes, it's a pleasant evening. It's one you haven't had in many evenings of camping out or, being in towns that were attacked or constantly being on the move. It's kind of like a throwback to pleasant times in Waterdeep or, hanging out at Saloon Smile in between jobs. A nice respite from your adventures. But, yeah. And then the night carries through, and then now when you go to the rooms have 2 beds, and they're single type beds, and you have 2 rooms. So I don't know how you guys are going to figure all that out, but I assume you do.
I will take the room that Greybeard is not taking. I've heard him sleep. I'm sleeping in the other one.
Since everybody seems restless, how are we doing this? And nobody says anything. GB's got one of the keys, so he opens the door and lumps in and flops on one of the beds.
Jarral will bunk with Greybeard.
Finn will go out and sleep in
I'm
that
going
cart.
no snoring.
Yeah, I'll sleep in the cart with Nod.
All right. I'll sleep in the other room.
Yeah, so we'll put coffee in with you then.
Yep. Sounds about good.
And it's just you guys can, you have to sleep if you don't want to. You can if you wish. You can do your trance, or you can do actual sleeping, which there's nothing against elves sleeping. And so yeah, the sun starts to peak up. It's early in the morning as Nod kind of nudges you awake. Nobody's approached the cart throughout the evening. You've heard some revelers here and there that passed by, but nobody got really too close to the cart. And it's a chilly morning. You can tell that the weather is starting to turn. You've had warm summer for the last few months, and this is one of those first kind of chilly mornings you kind of realize that you're starting to get into the fall months, and it's going to start getting cold eventually.
Winter is coming.
Yep, winter is coming.
All right, I'll prep the body for transport to the temple and go in and wake the rest of us.
Yep, everybody goes through their gear. Nothing's missing. Nobody tried to enter the rooms or anything. And you guys gear up, and you're back out at the cart. You're only, a block away from the temple. So you wheel it over, you carry the Gelron's body in, and the priest is already there and has a table set out, has a ritual as what it looks like set up, and he just mentions that if you go ahead and place the body here, and then if you will step out, we will conduct the ritual.
I do so.
And then it's not even the. Let me see how long it even takes. Let's see. That I don't know.
Gonna kick me out? I'm a holy man. And a harper, for all they know.
Oh yeah, it's actually really quick. So okay. Yeah, it's like 5 minutes later. They bring you back in, and he mentions to you that this spell should last for a 10-day.
When you say 10-day, is that
That's
literally 10 days, or is that only a week?
Yeah, that's what they call a week. Yep, it's 10 days. And that resonates correctly with you as far as what you've seen before. And what it'll do is it'll make sure that the body does not. In fact, it even says, for the duration, the target is protected from decay and cannot become undead.
That sounds like that'll come in handy.
Excellent. I'll rewrap the dwarf and take him back to the cart.
Yeah, and you kind of notice even he's got like a sheen to his skin. He actually looks like he has color almost. It almost looks like he's sleeping, even though you know he's dead. But it gives a better look to him, and there's like a little bit of glistening to his skin as you wrap him back up. And then you guys place him back into the cart. What would you like to do next?
Are there any provisions we need before we get on the road?
No, we got 20 days worth of food.
Yeah. Do we want to pick up breakfast here or just go?
Also, what about that little peck that we talked to yesterday in the frippery shop? Why don't we let him look at the thing Ardreth has?
We could. Yeah.
I forget
It'll
what I
be in the-
have.
The chunk the giant was
Oh, that's
digging
right.
for.
I thought maybe I drank too much last night and got the pox or something. I wasn't sure.
I think somebody has a potion too, don't they?
I have a potion, yes.
Oh, that's right. There, yeah,
Like an
so we should go back and
unidentified
identify.
potion.
Yeah, we should absolutely go do that. Then yeah, let's head back to that shop.
We could ask him why the pixie dust is broken too.
Pretty sure that's just you.
Right. Dwarves are immune.
Sure. Yep,
Pi-
they're
pixie
immune.
poison.
Never work.
Yeah, probably not. And I thump a coffee at that point. Look, sorry I tried to take the worthless dust from you.
If only he was here to give you a
I know,
stern stare.
or a quip, a quick
Pixie
comeback.
dust works on everybody unless you're full of hate.
That's
Whoa,
accurate. That is accurate.
And Greybeard gets a huge grin, like, that makes sense. You were pretty smart for a whatever you are. And I pet his head for the first time, mind you.
I mean, I'm not a pixie, but that's just what I've heard.
Good to know.
All right, let's head to the curiosity shop.
Yeah, it is early morning, and he appears to still be closed.
Oh, crud.
And in fact, there's not a lot of people up. You guys are up at the crack of dawn, with the ritual being completed. So there's not a lot of people moving around. You see some guards here and there. You see a few early risers. You see fishermen heading down to the piers. You see some workers starting to head to various areas, but it's definitely a lot quieter than it was when you arrived. And it appears most of the merchants are not open yet.
See, you guys are always getting up way too early.
Well, do we want to wait around, or should we try again at the next city?
Well, we know the iron rod is the thing that finds the other thing. It might be good to know what the real thing is.
That was the best sentence.
All right, let's just kill some time until the shop opens. Eat some breakfast.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, it's only another couple hours, and then it seems like all the merchants are starting to open. So you guys just spend another couple hours in town, and then you see Saunders' curtains open, displaying his, he had some windows on the front end, and he changes a sign out front. You guys see him.
So during those couple hours while we're waiting, Jarral is going to tell everybody that I had a nice run of luck last night, and he gives out 12 copper and 3 silver to everybody. Those are I managed to loot some coin from our giant friends and put it towards some entertainment last night.
How much silver was it?
3.
All right. And I mean, we'll pass it up.
Have we divvied up the other money too?
What other money?
No, we should probably divvy it up after we identify the thing. I mean, we could do it now. I just don't have that math ready.
Well, let's see what Saunders has to say.
Yeah, I would wait because it might cost us something else. That costs more than-
Saunders is happy to see you, and he's like, "Oh, you're looking for some more services." And it would be the same price, 50 gold.
All right, I'll take care of that. Start stacking coins again.
Okay.
And this, I don't have either of those items, so Ardreth, go!
Yep.
I'm trying to remember what it is. It's inside the bag.
Yeah, it's the chunk. It's the jagged piece of nightstone. It's probably not the nightstone, but I'm sure it's extremely similar.
No, it's like it's a metal piece that has kerrnelated edging on one side. It's made of the same material as the rod that Greybeard has, like a black metal that you don't recognize. And then on the other side of it, and it's kind of like a long bar almost. And on the other side of it, you can tell where it's been sheared off of something else. So it's been broken apart from something else.
And the potion, whoever had that.
I have the potion too.
Ah,
Yeah, so he goes through the same ritual, and he's looking at the potion. You can see the potion has green flame around it once again, and he says, "Oh, okay, I see. This appears to be a haste potion of fine quality."
And what does it do?
That would be a potion of haste that allows you to... it kind of speeds you up in combat. Makes your reflexes quicker. I don't know who's taking that back. You can write down potion of haste.
I'm happy to give it to whoever wants it.
GB very pointed, like, you know how this goes, obviously. So who's getting that thing? Probably won't work on me.
I think a dwarf on pixie dust and haste would be funny, so you can have it.
Yeah, in game terms, it does. So it's basically like casting the spell when you drink it. And so until the spell ends, the target's speed is doubled. It gains a +2 bonus to AC, has advantage on dexterity saving throws, and it gains an additional action on each of its turns. That action can only be used to take the attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object action.
So, right.
It will last for about a minute.
That action include 2 attacks? 2 additional attacks?
No, if you would get an attack.
So only 1, even though I get
Right.
2 in the first with my first action.
Yep, it gives you the chance to have an additional attack.
So you get 3.
I'm thinking that'd be good for Greybeard. Because if he's in rage, I mean, another
Right,
one of
that'd be-
those. Plus, he's only got 25 movement.
Yeah, given that he spent half the fight at Tribor trying to get to the fight, let's give him that potion.
Sold.
Okay.
And who took those braces?
They're still in my pack.
Well, at some point we should divvy them up.
Yeah.
I'll say you or Kofi.
Yeah. Which is why I want to wait.
Oh, okay. Got it. Roger.
Okay.
Alright.
And somebody's going to help Ardreth pull out the artifact from the bag.
Yeah.
'Cause it's pretty heavy. I think
Yeah.
it's 500 pounds.
Oh, jeez.
You're going to try to place that on the counter?
No. No, I try not to dent the floor.
So he speaks the phrase again, and the green flame jumps over to the giant artifact at this point. And as the flame hits the artifact, all of the windows in the front blow out. The green flame goes out, and his brazier on his counter melts. And you can, and he's like stumbles backwards, and the greenish fire that kind of reflected in his eyes is now gone, and he's kind of staring at the ceiling wide-eyed, and he's like, "What happened? Where am I? What just happened?" As he seems disoriented, as he's been knocked down.
You're still here, Master Saunders. And I help him up.
Yeah, and he kind of dusts himself off, and he tries to rearrange his hair a little bit, and there's like almost like a static electricity to him when you touch him, and he kind of shakes himself, and he thinks a second, and he gathers his thoughts, and he's like, whatever that is, it is very powerful and very dangerous. You want to be very careful with this, and I really want you to take it away from my shop.
You magicked that up real good, and it's just, it's evil, dark, gotta go.
Yeah, he got no. I was like, I got nothing from it. It broke the spell the moment I tried to move it. The magic that's bound in that is very powerful.
Sorry
Alright.
for your windows. And I lump 20 gold on his counter.
Okay. Yeah, and he's definitely looking disheveled now, and he looks a little fearful, and a little disoriented, and he's on edge.
Greybeard gets up close to him, and he says, "Don't worry, little man. We're on the case."
Yeah, and he
walks off hero
he
fashion.
gives you the nod, and He's just like, good luck, because you carry something very powerful with you. Good luck with that.
Open the bag. Open the bag.
Yeah. It's the first time that a magic bag has ever felt heavy.
And
it's groaning.
yeah, I say, the 6 are on the case. And then walk off hero like.
Yeah, he goes and you can see he's getting a broom and he's getting stuff to clean up the shop with because stuff has been knocked over and windows have been blown out and it's definitely a mess now.
Awesome.
All right, well then, let's head out.
Jarral doesn't buy into the 6 stuff, but Kerrnel does.
All right, yes. So you guys are back at your cart. What's the group's course of action?
Were we all in there?
I assumed, unless somebody said they weren't going to be.
I can stay out with the.
Yeah, I was
cart.
probably gonna stay out.
Well, you're definitely startled when the windows blow out and spray glass all over you guys.
Yeah, so that's my first question when they come out. Like, what happened?
He magicked the doohickey thingy, and it exploded. Well, he exploded. The thingy's all right, and I point to Ardreth.
Yep.
I'm glad Ardreth is okay.
You and me both.
Assuming that's what you were talking about with the thingy.
Yeah. Are we leaving town then?
Yeah, I don't think we have another reason to stay.
All right.
So, so Jarls is going to probe a little further just to kind of get the same information that he gave you guys. Do you guys relay that as he told it? Or as he explained it?
Saunders?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm sure Greybeard will give you the Greybeard version of it.
Right. That's why I was waiting for you to say something. Does Ian say anything, or do you want me to give the Greybeard version of it?
Oh no, you tell your version.
Okay. Alright, he was waving a feather over a thing, and then there was a green light, and then boom, everything exploded. His pot melted, and he said that it was a dark evil that we couldn't possibly power or handle. And I told him, don't worry, the 6 are on the case. And then we put it back in Ardreth's bag.
So, alright, so Jarl looks a little concerned, and I've heard that there are some items with very powerful magic that could be traced when used. Is it possible that this could be traced here?
I mean, no one's used it.
Right.
Someone touched it in the magic manner, and it was like no. So I'm assuming we're okay.
We should be very careful. We don't want what happened in Tribord to happen here.
No, we gotta talk to some mayor or some despot of this hill. Tell him, oh, it could be giants throw rocks from a sky castle thing and crush the city.
We should probably warn someone, shouldn't we? That would be the responsible thing to do. Oh, I figured about that yesterday.
Let's not jump to conclusions. This thing was buried in Tribor for who knows how long.
Right, we got the magic stick that can find it. So,
should we activate it here to see if there's something to be discovered?
Well, not right here, but maybe.
So
we
have the phrase, right?
Yeah. Well, I have the phrase.
So
I have the paper.
What did what's his name? Saunders. What did he try and do to it?
Identify.
He just identified it. You just told us what it did. That's it.
Okay.
So we haven't used it yet. Should we use it?
I don't think so.
I mean, we could prevent something from happening here, though.
But
Sure.
we
Here.
I'm very concerned, but I'm very curious at the same time.
I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of people here. This would be a tragedy compared to Tribor with only a little over 100, if that.
Oh, no, we should not do it here, but I think we should know what we are dealing with.
No, I'm suggesting we do it here to see if there's something in the middle of the stupid town, like there have been in all the other stupid human towns.
This is logical.
all right. I got an idea. We put up 4 curtains around the cart, and then
Oh, I'm loving this.
we
Keep going.
we use the
A
thing.
puppet show?
Right, in the back of the cart, we use the rod so that, because I mean, if we walk around town with a 7-foot rod waving about magically, somebody's gonna notice.
They're gonna
But
say
if we
the
do it-
Greybeard's in town.
Yeah, but if we do it in the back of a wagon with some curtains up, they already say that. And if we do it in the back of the wagon with some curtains, we could find the hidden junk stone or whatever's next. And
Well, it's been fairly consistent. The two, I mean, 2 is not a pattern, but in both places we visited and have been attacked, it has been found in the middle of the town.
From what I understand, what was pulled up at Nightstone was exactly that. It was a black stone, correct?
Yeah.
Not
Yep,
a
it
metal
was described as a
rod.
black stone of a gem-like quality, but not of a stone anybody had recognized. And many different arcane types have stopped there throughout the years and tried to investigate it, but never really found any information on it.
I think we have 10 days before this dwarf begins to turn in the sun.
Are you suggesting we take care of one and leave them to die if they are to die?
I think this town is more than capable of defending itself against 2 giants. This place is huge compared to Tribor. And I would assume a wall and a standing militia, given the size of the what we can see on that map.
I'm not suggesting we stay here. I'm suggesting we see if there's something dangerous here, something they could be worried about and be prepared for.
Why don't we
As
get out
much
of
as we can.
town and activate it, rather than taking the chance of doing something horrendous surrounded by all these innocent people?
What do you think the rod is going to do? Explode?
I don't know. I'm
I
not a
think it's-
mage.
I think it's just going to, I don't know, make a noise. We won't know until it finds something. I mean, you told us it vibrated or something, right, Lucien? Last time we saw. Oh, fuck you. I see that. Go fuck yourself. What are you doing?
Greybeard's like backing away, starting to reach into the pouch. Obviously, I was spotted this time. I should have whispered. He's like, talk. Let's just do it. 4 curtains. Hold up a blanket. I'll press the button. Say the words.
Yeah,
I agree we
that's
should
not a
do it
very high
sooner rather
stealth
than
roll.
later. This is the first opportunity we've had.
You
to get
you
ahead
all
of this.
recognize him trying to act very Greybeard like.
Yeah, my passive perception's above that.
I know, that's what I started laughing.
I'll let you do it.
All right.
I'm down
Is
with this plan.
anybody stopping me?
Stop.
I'm open
I
to
think
it.
experimenting with a magical weapon in the middle of a
I
crowded
would,
city is the worst possible idea that you could possibly come up with right now.
we should
It's
go
not
where
a
the
weapon.
adventurers are.
You're the one who said it might blow up.
It was the other thing he was attempting to identify. This is a rod that identifies things. This is the thing the other fire giant had when he walked into town looking for the rod.
Right, just like I said, this is the thing that finds the thing.
So
The other
things
thing.
finding doohickey.
Yeah.
So what was the thing that he tried to identify that blew up?
Take it out.
No, don't take it out. It's the hunk of thingy with the little edges.
I'm looking at you, Greybeard, and I'm telling you to take it out. The rod.
All right. Oh, the rod? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was what he was trying to identify that blew up. If that
Nope.
not it, then yeah, Jarral's open to activating it.
No,
Alright.
the thing that blew up was the part of the thing that's broken.
Okay.
Finn, are you stopping this at all?
Yeah.
He says out of he says out of metagaming goodness.
Grabbing
No.
the dwarf,
All right.
taking it out.
I'm riding down the street with Nod with that dwarf body on my. Like, you guys do what you need to do.
It's like a 7 foot,
And may the light have
So
mercy
that's
on your
red.
soul.
and I'm like,
Are we-
stand back.
Let's do this in the middle of the town. Are we near the middle of the town?
We should do it where all the adventurers are located.
I don't agree with that. Where's the middle of the town?
Over by
the
the
curio
hill.
shop was on the very eastern side of the
Alright.
town. You'd have to go back west to get to the center of town,
the
which
main
is the
road.
big hill with the Water Baron's palace sitting upon it.
Okay, let's get sort of close to there. Put it back in. Put it back in.
All right.
It's too heavy.
Maybe for you.
Okay, so I'm hearing. So what's going on?
We do
here? Tell me
go
what's
to
happening.
this. We do go over by the hill before we try this stupidity.
With how are you going by the hill? With the cart? Just the horses? What's happening here?
We definitely take the cart and our horses, and Finn.
Okay.
Finn took the corpse, and
Okay.
he said, and he's
Is
riding.
anybody else going with Finn? I assume Tigre's with Finn.
I'll meet you on the road after you're done jeopardizing all of these innocent lives.
Cheers.
I'm just not sure what to do at this point.
I was thinking Ardreth's been super quiet this whole time.
Can I like roll a dice maybe and let it decide for me?
You
Because
certainly can.
Do
And that
it.
thing
Thing is, I'm
blows up
bad
in your
idea about
bag.
it.
It's gonna blow up right in your bag on your back.
for once, I'm gonna go with Finn.
Okay.
Good.
So Ardreth is with Finn, is with Coffee, and then Jarral, Greybeard, Ian, and the horse and cart are heading back to the center of town.
Poor horse.
You've got the bomb piece, right, Ardreth?
Right.
Yep.
Bring that with us. Let's get that out of town.
My favorite part about this is that all three of us have a different motivation for doing this. That's amazing.
If only you could see the gleeful look on my face.
I cannot wait. Let's do it.
All right.
So yeah, you're at the center of town. You're at where the several main roads kind of meet. You can't quite get close to the center because that's where the palace is, and there's not an unobtrusive way to get into the palace that you can see, but you're kind of near it. The others, you're able to exit out the gate. The guards don't even look at you much. You're just on horses, and going out is not a big deal, and you're riding on the east road out. And all right, you guys are there. Now, are you trying to fashion curtains, or what's happening
Hold.
here? Is that really happening?
Need a moment of clarification.
Sure.
I can smell, technically, something that's evil. If I do a detect, I'll use my divine sense on the rod.
Show me the wording of that ability. Because that's a good question.
I mean, I'm assuming it's not a good thing. I just don't think it's gonna blow up.
I don't know. I mean, like, is your magic sword a good or bad thing? Yeah, okay. I'll say there's definitely a noxious odor that emanates from the artifact.
Oh, well, then never
Sure.
mind. I'd have gotten that in Tribor.
Yeah.
You guys can't do that.
Can't do what?
Can't activate it here in town. It's clearly evil.
Wait,
Maybe it's
Okay.
just
Not
finding-
the
Yeah,
rod,
that's
the artifact. The artifact.
is evil, but the
Uh,
rod is not.
Yeah, the rod is it's no different than any. You don't get any sense from it.
Does that change your opinion, Finn?
Again?
No. Whatever
Without a-
whatever the giants wanted with this artifact, this piece, they were clearly using that to find it.
Then we should find
Yes.
it first.
That is poor judgment on your part to try to do that in the middle of a town, a crowded town.
To find a thing? What do you think this thing is going to do?
I don't know, but we're carrying a piece of it on our back.
The rod? The rod is a separate instrument. That piece that Ardreth is carrying, that is the evil piece of
And-
doom that the giants want.
Let's get that out of town.
Well, then get it out of town.
After we find if there's anything else here, then we shall leave.
What
Alright.
could
Alright.
possibly happen when you activate that rod? You're going to
Here's-
detect something somewhere which you could do outside of this town.
Right. The thing is that they're going to ride away, and this thing is going to find it. So it's just going to point to them. So if we go out of town and it points back at the town, or splits its decision, or acts funny,
It's dwarven logic. It's like your
Right.
math.
It could be a key to activating this.
Jarral pats Greybeard on the back, impressed with that reasoning.
Oh my god. Fine, let's get out of the fucking town and we'll come back if there's something in it.
Oh no,
Go.
that was an agreement pat on the back.
oh, good.
That wasn't condescending at all.
All right.
Well, maybe a little bit, but
A little condescending.
Nice intelligence check there.
Thank you. It was
You can
helping
ha-
me
you
make
can
a
have
decision.
inspiration
Yay! Woo-hoo.
for playing that out. All right, so retro. We're back at the cart. You did not go back to the center of town. Is that what I'm hearing?
Correct.
And you are all leaving town.
Yep.
Okay. On the way out, the guards stop you to check the wagon once again. What's all in the wagon at this point?
Let me look. There is,
A bunch
And is
of
the
wolves.
body still there?
yeah.
Okay.
There is 4 suits of hide armor, 5 great axes, and 6 times 40 crossbow bolts.
Okay. Yeah, they stop you and they search the wagon once more. They kind of pick and move the stuff, but they don't touch the body. They recognize it as a dwarven corpse at this point. And then they check under your cart, and then he kind of waves to the guard captain, and they wave you along, and they let you out. They open the gates and they let you out, which close behind you as you go. And there's not a lot of traffic here on the road. You saw more traffic that seemed to be coming from Tribor 2-yarder. You're not seeing as much traffic heading further east. A few here and there, but not much. It's definitely less traveled. And you are on the road the Evermore way, heading east. How far does the group go? It's early in the morning. Well, it's mid-morning now.
I speak up after we're about a mile out of town and suggest that this
Okay.
is where we stop.
Okay.
All right. We'll give it a shot. I hold the thing, and because it's like 100 pounds, and I'm like, all right, what's the words?
And I say him.
Okay. Yeah, and so you just say the words, Greybeard?
Yeah, but I make sure everybody's out of the way in case this thing goes winging or swinging towards Ardreth.
Okay.
Great. I'm gonna set the bag down.
That bag right in
from
front
the
of
bag,
your
like long away from the bag.
It fires like a missile.
And where is the bag then where's that actually set in
Far away from
relation
me.
to Greybeard?
In the opposite
Um,
direction of the town.
Yeah, about 100 yards away from Greybeard, opposite the party.
Okay.
Opposite the town.
So you say the words, and you can feel it activate, and it definitely has like a frequency to it, a vibration of sorts, and it pulls you, and you're using all your strength as it begins to kind of pull you towards the bag.
No. Cool. All right, I kind of go towards the bag with it. All right, it found the chunky hunky thing. I think we got it. And I deactivate it.
Okay.
If there's like buttons or whatever to push.
It seems like it goes for about a minute. You don't really see a way to turn it off, but after a minute, it stops.
Okay.
I say the phrase again after it turns off.
You just say it out loud.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Do I have to touch it? I touch it and I say,
Okay. Yeah. You take hold of it.
yeah.
Yeah. So you touch it, and it you feel this kind of discordant frequency. You can tell it's vibrating, and again, it pulls nearly Greybeard off his feet again, and pulls you along with it. It has a very strong pull to it, right to the
Okay.
bag.
So we can use it at least twice a day.
Should we take the bag to the other side of town? To the west?
Which bag?
The bag that the rod is identifying?
Oh.
Because this is the
Then-
closest thing that it's going to locate. So if we go to the other side of town with the bag, then it's possible that if there is something in Yartar, then we'll find it.
Sure.
What's the estimate on travel to the Dwarven stronghold?
Definitely.
It's like over a week.
Yeah. And that's assuming, you're traveling at your fastest speed with nothing happening. It's at least a week.
I'd rather not waste any more time on this while we have something so critical waiting. We could pass
And-
through Yartar again.
And possibly saving Yartar now? That's not a priority for the Paladin?
What exactly is giving you an indication that there's something buried in Yartar?
Nothing
What-
gave me
what
an
clue?
indication that something was in Tribor, and yet there we were attacked by several fire giants and their minions. Not everything can be seen, Paladin.
But nothing has attacked Westbridge. Nothing has attacked Red Larch. Nothing has attacked Yartar at this point.
And who's to say they're not? Tribor was attacked, 3 days ago? 4 now?
And Nightstone
I can't
before
deal with what ifs. I can only deal with what I have in front of me. Which is the body of the
Holding-
slain companion.
Well, then go ahead, Paladin. If that's your path, take it.
He jumps on Nod and rides east.
All right.
With the dwarf corpse?
Yep.
All right.
I committed to taking the dwarf corpse back, so I guess 2 times in one night I'm going to follow Finn.
We need to figure out what is going on, but I agree. We have made the commitment to return the corpse. Perhaps
Alright.
we can bury
But-
the object here, so that if we do use the rod somewhere else, maybe it will locate something nearby. If there is
Well, right.
another artifact.
Oh, hey, no, that thing ain't going. We're keeping that.
Yeah, we're keeping it.
But the thing is we only have to let them get as far away further away from us than we are from the town. And then
Yep.
we can check your theory.
We sure
So,
can.
Who has the artifact now?
They
Okay.
have the artifact. They're
The
riding
rod.
off. And we have the detector unit.
So
Yep.
are we gonna give the artifact to them?
They already
No,
have
they
the
artifact. We have the detector.
we have
Right.
the metal detector. They have the magic evil.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sure enough. So let's. How long do you think it's gonna take? 20 minutes? 30?
What would be?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take long for them to move a couple miles. You can move 21 miles in a day. You guys have moved a mile so far.
All right. So as soon as they're a couple miles away, further away from us than the town
Yeah,
is.
so you can figure, I don't know, probably a 15... No, it's probably about 18 minutes per mile, maybe.
Alright,
so,
we'll
yeah.
wait about an hour.
Okay.
So I guess we'll do a short rest.
Okay.
Not
So
that we need it.
an hour down the road travels Finn. So he's not going to take the cart?
No, he's got the corpse on his back, on the back of Nod.
Okay. And Ardreth is with Finn.
Yes, sir.
And we'll say Coffee's with Finn. Okay. So an hour goes by. You guys have ridden further down the track. And you see a flash behind you. And it's like a mushroom cloud. No, I'm just kidding. So it's an hour goes by. Okay, so the Ian, Jarral, and Greybeard, you've kind of sat on the side of the road for an hour. You've seen some other a caravan group go by with several wagons, guards. You've seen an adventuring group go by. You've seen you're kind of out still within a mile of Yarder. You're still kind of in some farmland area, and an hour goes by.
All right. I thought it's the rod out or in.
No, it was in the bag all that time, and now we'll take it out. And
All right.
we'll give it a shot.
Yep. Say the words.
All right, and it who's holding it?
Me.
Okay. Yeah, so once again, you get that discordant frequency. You feel it vibrate again, and it begins to tug you west. I'm sorry, tug you east down the road.
Boo.
All right.
Never eat. So towards them.
Turn it
All
off.
right.
There's no way to turn it off. It just after
Oh,
a
yeah,
minute,
yeah, for a
it stops.
You're just shaking.
And you really have to hold on to it. I mean,
Right.
it feels like it's nearly dragging you down the road.
All right.
It uses all of your 18 strength.
Okay.
Let it go. You know you want to throw an iron bar a
Oh,
mile at us.
I know I do. I so wanted to see Ardreth get like, bam, 100 pounds of iron.
Nice.
Whew.
All right. Well, my conscience is clear.
I
Let's
wonder
follow
what
them up
happens
the
if
road.
those two things touch.
Please, can we get to that tonight?
Well, a little legerdemain and a sleight of hand here or there, maybe. Will.
All right, so I assume you guys mount back on your horses and gallop up to catch up, make up the time. And you guys can see them riding up. You pass some farmers, you pass the caravan, the adventuring group, and then you catch up to Finn, Ardreth, and Coffee.
How long was the difference? If we took away that hour.
Yeah, I mean, to gallop and catch up to them at double time, it only probably took you 15 minutes to catch them. So it was an hour and 15-ish by the time you catch up to them.
So it's like mid-morning or noon-ish.
Yeah, because you'd spent enough time in town waiting for the merchants to open. So yeah, it's getting to be noon. You're probably not going to get as far as you normally would have because you waited around in town a little bit. But you guys will probably make about I'll say you make about 17 miles today.
As we get within earshot of Finn and Ardreth, Greybeard starts. Right, it was good that we was able to save the town. It was really good. I'm so glad we did that. Whew. No giants will attack there now.
I'm just laughing at you for that roll.
Yeah.
Well, my conscience is clear now, knowing that the town will not be attacked for some artifact.
Right, I was just hoping it was another piece of that weapon to use against the giants.
And the Saren Hills are filled with raiding bands of orcs and goblins. There is danger everywhere.
And the Utgard.
Fight what I can see. Can't see the evil in Yartar. Or smell it.
Or smell it.
All right, so you guys travel the rest of the day, I assume in your typical marching order?
Yep.
Ian's still out. How far out in front?
Well, on a horse, I guess I could be out farther. About 50 feet ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys get to the end of the day. You didn't quite make it as far as if you just left once you'd got up. And you're getting close, so you just kind of look for a place on the side of the road to make camp, pull the cart off, and sleep the night away. I assume the regular watch rotation, I think you guys have set up somewhere?
Yep.
Where is that?
Definitely.
Where'd you post that at?
It's on Facebook.
Facebook, of all
the
places.
Facebook. The thing I don't have open. Okay.
It's yeah.
How do we make it a document, like here in the journal entry? Or can't we?
If you... Oh, I can do that, actually. I probably should have. I just didn't get to it. Can I grab an image? I can just put in an image and make it a handout. Okay. Which I will do, but I think we're at the end of our evening. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and call it here. That was a pretty fun RP in session. For those of you that are watching, I want to say thanks for joining. Don't worry, if you love the RP, then tonight was great. If you're all about the action, it's coming. Don't worry. The 6 are definitely not out of the woods yet. So definitely come back and check out their continuing adventures and what shenanigans they're going to be up to. I will definitely get the videos posted probably tomorrow or the next day, so you can rewatch them if you wish. You can check him out on Kerrnel's if he is putting his up too, although he had a computer crash last week, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a little
if
behind.
those are up.
In fact, first one went up today.
I was going to say, you just posted one today.
Yeah.
So you can also check out the player perspective from MC Kerrnel's YouTube channel. And thanks, Greybeard, for hosting my channel for tonight's stream. But we will be back next Monday, and it's going to be fun. I definitely don't miss it. A lot more to the story coming up. And so thanks for joining, and we will see all of you in the next one.